Hi everyone, we're here to take a look at this new, is it a new moon? It's a full moon in Capricorn, conjunct Pluto. Wow. And what's the date on this? It's coming up this week. I'm a little late getting it together here. I think it's Friday in some places, but Saturday in others, so 8th or 9th. Yeah, so you have to check your local listings more or less, but it's right in Eastern time, 12:06 a.m., so like right after midnight on July 9th. All right, let me get this lined up here a little bit here. Let's see. And yeah, so it's conjunct Pluto and then Mars. So we got a Pluto-Mars opposition, and this full moon is really activating it. You know, it's really activating it. Mars and Pluto are very volatile. They're very, talking about war and battle, things like this. Pluto with power, death and rebirth, destruction. So it could be a little volatile. What else is going on here? Anything? It's squaring Jupiter, so it's making a big... There's a T-square in the cardinal signs. Well, luckily, the thing that's the square is Jupiter. It could be a lot worse. It could be way worse than that. Yeah, but that's not great either. Well, Jupiter is luck and benefit. You know, when I look about this and I feel like it's... maybe some things are going to come to a head that need to come to a head. You know, maybe some things, it could be a clearing of the air. You know, instead of festering, you know, it could be like a relief. Like the air needs to be cleared about this. Mars being in the sign of Cancer, you know, we've talked about this before. It's not the greatest position, you know, because it's not really, it can't express itself well there. But Mars is going to fight for. What is Mars? Mars is the fighter. Mars has got a war. Aries. What are we fighting for? Cancerian type of things. We could look at it like that. And that would be nurturing, motherhood, family, home. These types of things is what Mars is fighting for. So it's kind of, in a way, you can look at it, it's kind of nice to have Mars there instead of just, you know, Pluto, big bad Pluto bossing everybody around over here, you know. Mars is saying, hey, wait a minute. You know, you don't talk to my mother like that. Don't talk to my sister like that. Don't talk about my grandparents like that, or whatever. No, not talk, but whatever. You shall not overpower these softer energies. Mars is in there saying, hey, wait a minute, dude. You know, and then the moon is right in there too, which is that, you know, the ruler of Cancer. So the Cancerian energy is really trying to make make a point here, or come forth, or make a, you know, it's trying to express itself. It's, you know, it's expressing through Mars, and then the moon itself, the ruler of Cancer, Cancer moon, 4th house, is coming up there. It's right with Pluto there too. So it's almost like Pluto's being ambushed a little. It's almost like it reminds me of like a kill 'em with kindness kind of thing. And Jupiter in Libra too is kind of kill 'em with kindness here too. You know, and Jupiter in Libra is about listening to reason. Because sometimes Pluto and Mars too, they don't want to listen to reason. They're going to do what they want. They're going to take what they want, and, you know, damn the torpedoes, full steam ahead, right? And with Jupiter in Libra and the moon energy and the Cancerian energy, maybe we could have a dialogue. Maybe there could be where Pluto could say, you know, they're going to say, listen, you're going to listen to both sides of this story. Jupiter and Libra is saying you're going to make a fair decision based on looking at everything there is, you know, all the information provided. And Pluto's might have to like listen, begrudgingly, yeah, begrudgingly, but Pluto's going to have to listen and heed. I think that's really what I'm getting from it. What else is Jupiter squaring the Sun? Jupiter squaring the Moon, opposing the Ascendant. That's irrelevant. Squaring Pluto, yeah. Yeah, so this is going on. The other thing that caught my eye when I opened this is a series is at 29 Gemini. So I was looking in Wikipedia again, because that just caught my eye. What can we talk about series other than the Goddess of the Grain? I don't like to look up astrological interpretations. This is the mythological. Yeah, let's look at the mythology, because there's there's information, there's clues in there, there's hints or clues. But what caught me was this thing about the plebes, the plebeian council. So I went over that, and it just struck me funny because it reminds me of dweeb. The plebeian dweebs or something. It was cracking me up on my own over here. But here's what it is. It's the council of the people. The concilium plebeius, or plebis. The plebeian council, or plebeian assembly, was a principal popular assembly of the ancient Roman Republic. It functioned as a legislative assembly through which the plebeians, in other words, the commoners, could pass laws, elect magistrates, and try judicial cases. The plebeian council was originally organized on the basis of the curia. Thus, it was originally a plebeian curia assembly, which I don't know what that means either. The plebeian council usually met in the well of continuum and could only be convoked by the tribute of the plebes. The assembly elected the tribunes of the plebes and the plebeian aediles, or aediles, and only the plebeians were allowed to vote. So it's the common people. It's the common people. Ceres has ties to the common people here. Or what's that chart at anyway? Let's just collapse this and the chart should be there. Yeah. Here we go. And it's in Gemini. And the words will be heard. You know, the words are being heard by her. And it's right on the cusp of moving into Cancer, the 4th house. And that is, you know, well, 11th house Aquarius is more like the masses probably. But, you know, this is the vibration of the 4th house to me, and the vibration of the Cancerian energy in the 4th house. It is like the common people. It's your family. It's your everyday, you know. This is within the home and the family. This is out in the world. 10th house is out in the world. The people who run the world is in the 10th house. This is the opposite of that. So I like that Ceres is coming in here to join the party. 29 Gemini. Words. You will hear, I keep hearing in my head, you will hear my words. You will listen to me. And that's the vibe that I really get out of this chart. So I feel like something, the powers that be may have to listen to, you know, it's coming from every direction. Pluto and Capricorn up here is going to have to listen to what people really want, you know. And there's so many things at these high degrees. We've got the Ceres at 29. Uranus is really getting up there. It's 28 degrees. Chiron is still right smack there, and it's getting almost at that 29 Pisces, or it's retrograding. That's why it's not moving much. But Chiron moves really slow anyway. It takes 50 years for Chiron to get around the wheel. But it's these critical degrees. Critical degrees meaning there's a heavy emphasis on it, meaning it's now or never, meaning you're going to have to listen to me. It's imperative. It's like a pot bubbling up. That's the kind of really the vibe I get out of it. And things, I mean, sometimes I'd like to just look at the aspects and see if I see like pictures in there. That's kind of how I got on the aspect lines. That's kind of how I got on doing those mandalas. But it sort of looks like everything's sort of off kilter or askew, or just kind of like it's like this would be the pivot point, say the Sun in Cancer, and it's sort of like, oh, is it gonna tip that way and fall? Is it gonna tip this way and fall? It's not on sturdy ground. It's not on solid ground or something. You know, what's that song about? Shaky ground. Ever since you put me down, standing on shaky ground. Ever since you put me down. It's kind of a old funk tune. I'm not going to look up the lyric. I guess I could. I mean, why not? Who cares? I usually do that in the tarot readings. I've been getting that more and more. I think I know who it is. A friend that passed who's a musician. I think he's joined the Music Encyclopedia Council of my guides or something. Man. Oh, that's not funky. Not Funky Town. The Shaky Ground. But it is a funky tune. Shaky ground. I keep wanting to say shaky town. Oh, isn't that funny? I hope there's not going to be an earthquake. I mean, and that could be an earthquake. Did you mean shaky town? I can't say it right. Oh, wow. I bet you maybe there's going to be an earthquake. Maybe that's why I'm doing this whole thing anyway. It's sort of silly and off the topic. Shaky ground lyrics. But maybe the ground is going to shake. I hope not. But Mars Pluto could be. Lyrics. I'm inadvertently typing the wrong thing. A lot of times that's a message, right? Lady Luck and four-leaf clovers won't ease the hurt I feel all over. My life was once a special occasion, till you leaving dampened the situation. I'm standing on shaky ground ever since you put me down. My car got repossessed this morning. Harder times I haven't seen in years. You better throw me a life preserver, 'cause I'm about to go down. I'm about to drown in my own tears. Yeah, it is the Temptations. I thought so. That video was like, who's this dude? This isn't Delbert McClinton. But whatever. The car getting possessed and that. You know what the other thing was? When it said, I thought this said 7 years somewhere. Harder times than I haven't seen in years. I thought that said 7 years. I was going to say that's like a Saturn cycle. Let's look at this. What's Saturn doing? Saturn's still in that Grand Trine, right? Yeah, Saturn's still in the Grand Trine. And Vesta has really moved in there. It's really, you know, in there. It's past the node, but it's really making a solid trine with Uranus. And we've got Saturn up there. So we've still got this Grand Trine of fire. Saturn's karmic, nodes are karmic. The karmic, you know, karmic implications, 29 degrees, critical degrees are karmic, you know. That's a lot of the stuff that I look at if you ever wanted to order one of those soul readings, Soul's Journey, where I look at your chart from that perspective, not predictive, but I kind of do a psychic reading, but ties in a lot of past lives and what you're doing here and this incarnation and stuff. It's pretty deep. It's my favorite kind of reading to do, honestly. I don't love doing predictive readings, although I do, but that's what I think is my soul's purpose as far as readings go, is more to do these soul readings for people, but whatever. This is all karmic stuff. So however these events come about, whatever happens, if the powers that be still choose to say, you know what, I don't give a rat's ass about anything you have to say, even though they're all there. Everybody's like, come on, Pluto, listen to us. We have a voice. We've got Mars sticking up for us. We've got Ceres and the plebes over here, you know. It's all pointing up at you, and the moon, the feminine, you know, the mother. You got to listen to us. And if Pluto still is like, I don't care. I'm doing what I want. I'm the boss. Screw you. Well, there's going to be karmic implications to this. You know, there's karmic implications to this. This isn't, you know, you can't just do what you want and kill everybody in your path. You know, and it wouldn't necessarily be killing people in the modern day, but kill their ideas, kill their whatever, their livelihood, their health insurance, you know, their whatever. And just get away with it, you know. There's karmic things, and there's other, you know, the plebe thing. I was compelled to look into that. You know, that's something really. And if anybody, you know, that article's kind of hard to understand. Just reading that first paragraph, it was a little confusing. If anybody is out there that is into that, is really into mythology and knows a lot about this plebeian council thing, and can explain it in like a simpler way, please, or add some insights to the reading and what we're talking about, you know, please do leave that in the comments. So we got 26, Vesta, Uranus, and Saturn. See, again, this could be working in, trines are working in harmony usually. Why isn't this shown in the aspectarian? Why isn't that? I must have it set to a 6-degree orb. Let's see, Uranus, yeah, it's not showing. What's Neptune's trying the sun? So that means Neptune's involved in this thing. But before I move on to Neptune, this Uranus trining Saturn could, you know, because Saturn's the ruler of Capricorn. This is connected. This could be working in harmony to bring things into a newer stage. You know, the Uranian times for all, good for all men and women and everybody. And brotherhood and humanity working together, and new and, you know, progressing forward, new and modern technology and everything. And this trine energy and the node, this could all be helping to propel things forward in a harmonious fashion, not necessarily in a warlike, aggressive fashion. Well, let's get into this. Let's throw Neptune in the mix here, because Neptune is trining the sun. And if it was a Scorpio, it would be a grand trine. and Neptune is sextiling the Pluto and the Moon. Well, you know, one of the first thing that comes to mind with this is that Neptune, you could kind of gloss it over. It kind of get glossed over. It was just like, yeah, okay, yeah, I agree. I'll go along with what you want to do. Yeah, me too. But really, you know, it could be like, it could be convoluted. It could be not really clear. It could be, it just is. There's something fishy. I was going to say there's something rotten in Denmark. Wow. There's some funky old expressions coming through from these guides today. But, you know, neither one could have a clear understanding of what the other, you know, oh yeah, we go back home. Yeah, I met with Pluto, and yeah, it's all cool. We're all set. Yeah, he agrees. We're going to do, this is what we're going to do. And Pluto's telling the Moon, oh yeah, we met today, and I think we got it all ironed out. It's all cool. And really, it's Neptune, neither one, they both could, you know, come away thinking that they won, or they, things are going their way. But really, it's not really clear. You know, it's sort of this half-assed sort of. I'm not saying it correct, you know, clearly. I can't even say it clearly because it's that Neptune vibration coming in. But you know what I mean? It could sort of be glossed over, but not really settled. And each could be taken away as something that they sort of think that they got their way, but really, it could be. It's ripe for misunderstandings. Okay, of not understanding each other clearly. On the other hand, though, with Neptune, it's ripe for looking within your heart. It's ripe for, and the Grand Trine with Leo too, with looking within your heart. And it's ripe for showing some compassion, some understanding, and some creative solutions. Because Neptune is creative, and so is Leo. So we could come up with some creative solutions, hopefully. That would be, you know, the highest possible outcome. What's Pallas doing over here? Anything at 3 degrees? Well, it's still, it's interacting, it's still in a wide open conjunction with Uranus and interacting with all those 29s. 4. Venus and Pallas are together here. And here we go, square in Mercury. That's what I was trying to get to. I think that kind of goes along with what I was just saying. Mercury, which rules over the communication and understanding and clear lines of communication, is squaring Pallas. So, you know, it might not be, you might come away thinking you stated your facts clearly and you won the argument, but really you haven't, you know. What's going on with Mercury? Is it trying the ascendant, sextiling Venus? Well, that makes for a lot of charm. Venus in Gemini is very charming, too. Anybody who in their natal chart has Venus in Gemini is very charming people. You know, salesmen. You know, they know just the right thing to say to, you know, charm. Charm could go a long way in this Pluto-Mars opposition. And this full moon activating it. You know, the charm and maybe charm and grace, which Venus is very much graceful and grace too, could go a long way in helping this out here. But my vibe on it is like, I feel like everybody's ganging up on Pluto, and not in a bad way either, but they're just like, you will hear me, Pluto. You will hear me. You will listen to me. I won't be bullied by you anymore. I won't be dominated by you anymore. We're all as plebes down here. we will. Our voice shall be heard. I keep hearing that. Is that a thing? Is that like a thing? I hope there's no earthquake. Our voice shall be heard. Our voice shall be heard. Is that a Songs from the Void? Oh, it's Genesis. Is that Genesis or no, Genius? God, I'm reading words. I'm so used to doing that with the tarot cards, reading the words wrong, and I'm reading them wrong. Well, when you're in the state of, you know, doing a psychic reading, it's not the best time to really try to, you know, you have to engage your other side of your brain to start reading. Whispered, our voice shall be heard. Well, I'm going to go ahead and look at it. Inhuman greed over worthiness gain, spiteful aim to reign over hallowed. Well, that's kind of what I was talking about. Spiteful, that's Pluto, right, all the way. Despite the signs so clear of the godliness, or godless bane, and the forthcoming outcome of deprivation, they'll shiver as their reverence grows thin. They'll hear our screams when they sleep. Karma, right? As the last home of ours is destroyed, we haul their lands to Yami's void. Kubatera Kara, I don't really know what this is about. I'm not going to read this whole thing either. If anybody knows what these words are about, Kubateri and all that too, go ahead and leave that in the comments. I wonder, is there something else? I don't know that that's what I was being led to. Oh, here we go. A Bible passage. That's definitely more about what I wanted to talk about. Because you are not my sheep, you refuse to believe. My sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and they will follow me. I give them eternal life, and they will never perish. No one will snatch them from my hands. I don't know if that really applies either. Well, if anybody knows specifically, you know, what I said, I can't remember what I said about my voice will be heard. Is that something besides that song lyric, or, you know, what is that? Because I keep hearing that over and over again. So, you know, it could be a bumpy ride, but I still feel like this fire energy, you know, this Grand Trine and fire with, this time it feels like Leo is leading the way. The North Node in Leo is leading the way, like waving the banner, waving the flag. And Leos can be very charming too. Leo energy is very charming. They get their way through charm and fun and making you laugh and cracking a joke and having a good time. Leos aren't really aggressive. They can be cocky, but they're not really aggressive. You know, they can be very charming. They know how to get you. They will get their way without the use of force. Let's just put it that way. Like Venus and Gemini will get their way without the use of force. Charm will go a long way. Leos are charming. I mean, who's more charming than a Leo? Nobody. You know, charm will go a long way in helping to deal with this energy. You know, this opposition of Mars-Pluto. That's the big news, and this full moon is just activating that. You know, textbook interpretation could bring an earthquake. I sure hope it doesn't. Let's pray it doesn't. But you know, it could bring about you know, violence, war, fighting. You know, it could be volatile for sure. But the Grand Trine of Fire is taking action. The Venus in Gemini, charming with your words, diplomacy, Jupiter and Libra diplomacy. The plebes down here, series with the plebes in Gemini. You know, and that was the, you know, from what I got out of that first paragraph of that plebe thing, that was the law. What the common people decided was the law. You know, and that was it. That was the law. So, you know, it's more like the masses, you know, the common people sound so, I don't know, I don't like the way that sounds, you know what I mean, though. The masses, you know, the general public, that'd be a nicer way of saying. I don't like that, the common people. That sounds so like a put down or something, you know. But the masses, the general public, you know, they hold the power. That's what I really want to say. The words will be heard, and in this day of Uranus, you know, the words will be heard. You know, we've talked about this a million times, that technology, you can't get away with stuff. Shady shit is coming, you know, is definitely not as prevalent, because they be captured on camera. You know, you'll be caught, you know, Facebook Live. I mean, I know YouTube had live broadcasts for a long time before that, but everybody seems to be jumping on the Facebook Live thing. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't care which one you use. I don't have, you know, affiliation with either necessarily. But the thing is, Uranus, through technology, you know, but there are still countries that have, you know, technological blackouts, that they're not allowed to be on the internet or whatever too. But that's where it's heading. That's the solution. That's the answer. That's the plebes, baby. The plebes are everybody with their cell phone cameras, Facebook Live, and you know, whatever. Mostly it's been a lot of police abuse and stuff like that, which, you know, Pluto, I don't think Pluto rules that. I'm not sure. I would guess it would be Mars, but it's anybody who's in a position of power and authority and is abusing that power. Not all cops are abusing their power. The vast majority aren't. I'm sure of that. There's many good cops. Not all people who are in power are greedy, you know, don't care about the people. There's plenty who do. So through technology and Uranus and moving forward into the future and keep embracing that and embracing that. I mean, just look at the last, you know, let's say 20 years. From our, you know, squeaky AOL dial-up modems to where we are now, we have internet everywhere we go. You know, and people say those phones, our phones now are more powerful than those first computers that we had, than those early, you know, PCs that we had. So it's just moving at lightning speed. And the more that this is happening, the more inclusive it shall become. That's what Uranus is after. Uranus wants to be everybody included. And with the Uranus and Aquarius, which is Uranus ruler in the South Node, I just feel like it's no one be left behind, you know. Ultimately, no one's going to be left behind. So even these countries that don't have internet or can't, you know, are under news blackouts or different things, that's going to change too. That's coming. It's all coming. And the rulers, like Leo, is royalty as well. The rulers who embrace that and love their people, and I'm talking outside of democracies where there's still, you know, these dictators, you know, the rulers who are more Leo-like and want the best for their people and love their constituents and love their kingdom or whatever it is, you know, they're going to fare the best. They're going to fare the best in the coming times that we're moving into the, you know, the Aquarian age. They'll be the ones who will fare well. This is the last gasp, the last breaths of the patriarchy. You know, it's gone by the wayside. The internet technology is connecting us in a way that, you know, we can't be bullied anymore. That's what this really is. It's bullying, you know. And so that's where we're going. Ultimately, I don't, you know, it's not through brute force. I feel it's through just continuing in this vibration with the technology, with the uniting of all, with the sharing of information. Information is power. Knowledge is power, right? Jupiter is knowledge. Saturn's in Sag, you know, knowledge. Knowledge is power. In this technological age, knowledge is power. Okay, I hear the noises from outside encroaching, so I'm going to wipe this up. Oh, wow. I'm going to wrap this up. Jeez. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up while I can still speak a solid sentence. Anyways, let's come back to Earth here and wrap it up. So, hey, everybody, have a great full moon. Love is the answer. I know it's a cliche, but I think that's the, you know, this is all about love. Fourth house is love. Leo's love too. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up. Hey, remember your life and beauty incarnate. God, you are love and beauty incarnate. And this is Vickie really wishing you the best. Please check out my website for more information on readings and different stuff that I offer. It's all on my site. You can find the link below or in the eye in the sky. Have a great one, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.